Okay, so let's talk about replying to messages, downloading attachments, and doing our out-of-office response message. I would think that if any of you have ever used this program before, you've probably replied to a message. I mean, that's probably one of the more basic things that you learn right off the bat with any type of email program. So let's say, for instance, you get a message, and I'm just going to say we got it from this person here, right? Now, we're going to go ahead and read it. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a double click on it, open it up. There it is. And then, of course, I can read the message and all that. And then at that point, I can either hit the reply button over here or hit this one over here. So I'll go ahead and I'll just click this one here. And it's going to say it's got content. Do you want to, have that replied to as well? I'm just going to say yes on that. Now, what I'm going to do at this point then is I would just, type in whatever my response was, just like that. And then I can go ahead and hit send, and off it would go. And then what would happen is it would put a little marker on here, a little purple arrow letting me know that I replied to it. Now, if I go back and reopen that message, it'll show that I replied to it on such and such date and time. So that's pretty easy. Then because I've got the delivery option set that we had done in an earlier video, that will reply back or come back to me showing that it did get delivered. Now let's take a look at another email here. I'll just do this one here. And this one I've already replied to. So just pretend like it doesn't look like it's been replied to. And I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And on this one, there's a number of people that it was sent to other than just me. And so if I hit reply, then my reply is only going to go back to Dean. Okay? But on the other hand, if I hit reply to all, watch this, then whatever message I put in there is going to end up going to all of these people as well. All right? And you might not want that to happen, so you have to kind of watch that and make sure that you don't hit reply all. Keep in mind too, I'll tell you a little secret about this. If there were a number of people on this email that Dean sent to that were in the blind carbon copy, that's where you're hiding the people that you're sending it to. What will happen in that case is that when you do a reply to all, your reply will actually go to those people as well, and that might not be a great idea in some circumstances. So just keep in mind that you do a reply if you just want to reply back to in this case, Dean. You do a reply all if you wanted to go to Dean and the other two people here as well. All right? So, I mean, again, it can be a troublesome thing if you do it the wrong way. All right, so that's how that would work. All right? Now, what about forwarding an email? What's that involving? So let's just say, I'll find one here. I'll go and double click this one here. All right, so let's say that we've got this email. And maybe what I want to do with it is, instead of me replying back to it, even though I did reply to it already, but even though, let's just pretend like it came to me and I don't really want to reply to it. I want to forward it to somebody else, and then they can go and reply to it from there. So maybe it was missent to me, or maybe I just don't want to deal with it. I'd rather somebody else deal with it. So what I would do in that case is I would hit forward, just like that. Or it could be a situation where maybe your boss has told you, anytime that you get an email from so-and-so, make sure you forward me a copy of it. So this would be one way of doing it, all right? So then what we'll do at this point then is we'll go ahead and type in whoever we want to forward it to. So let's say I want to type it or send it to, let's say, student B, all right? So I'll double click that one. And then down here I can put in some sort of message as to, what they need to do to deal with this. And then once they have it, or once I've typed that in there, then I'll just go ahead and hit send, all right? And what will happen is I will get a little blue arrow there letting me know that that was forwarded, all right? And if I go back and open it up, it'll also tell me you forward this message on such and such date. All right, so that's how that all works. Now, in another situation, you might receive an email that has a file attachment to it, all right, such as this one right here. I'll just dig this one right up here. So if I open this one up, and by the way, too, you know that it's got an attachment because it has that little paper clip in there, right? So we go ahead and open that up, and there it is, all right? So this is it. This is the file. It's just a PDF file here. So I need to basically copy this onto my storage system, all right? Now, to do that, it's a pretty easy thing to do. Oh, so what will happen is if I click onto it, just like that, the attachments tab will pop open, and then what you'll see here is something where it has save as or save all attachments. Now, if it turns out that you've got, 10 different files in here, what you can do is you can actually save them all at the same time in one single area on your machine. Otherwise, if you want to have them in different areas saved to, then you're going to have to do the save as. But in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to click on to where it says save as, just like that. And then over here, we can either keep the name there or whatever, and then figure out where we want to save it to. Maybe I just want to save it to my desktop, all right? And then once I've done that, all I have to do is just hit save, and that's it. It's been saved to it. Again, if there is a number of different files on here, then I would hit save all attachments instead, and then they'd all be listed here. I'd hit OK, and then I would specify where I want them to be saved to, and they'd be saved under whatever the names are on them originally. So whatever that person called them for each of them, those will be the names that you'll get. And then you just go ahead and hit save, and off it goes, right? So that's how that works. And by the way, too, what you can also do is you can actually point to the file right here, hold down your mouse, and drag it just like that. And you can't see it on my screen here, but I could drag it onto my desktop and let go, and then a copy of it would be placed right on the desktop. So that's pretty cool. Now, let me go ahead and close this one up now. Another thing to keep in mind, too, is that there might be a situation where maybe you get an email that has an attachment, and what they want you to do with the file is basically update it and then send it back to them. All right. So what you can actually do, and let's say also that you don't really want to save a copy of it. It's just something that they're sending you. You're going to update it, send it back to them. You don't need a copy of it at all. All right. So how do you handle that? Well, we can actually open up the email, and let's say it's this one right here. Actually, I got another one here for you. This one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. All right. So this is the attachment. All right. And actually, too, what you can do is you can click onto it, and it will actually give you a preview of it right there. All right. So they've sent this to me, and they want me to go in there and just update a few things on it and then just send it right back to them. So I don't really feel like I want to save it to my system. I just want to very quickly open this thing up, make the changes, save it right back to the email, and then forward the email out to them, right? Or I should say back to them. Now, here's how I do it. And by the way, too, what I just did there, let me just show you again here. I hit this back to message, and it just takes me right back here. So what I'm going to do, all right, is while I've got this open, and this is very important here, what you have to do is you have to click on to forward. If you don't do this, it's not going to work right, all right? So let me just go through this again. What you would do is you'd open up the file, open up the email, right? And then what you would do is click on to forward, all right? That opens up a new window, and this is going to be the forwarding window. You have to do it this way. It won't work any other way. So once you've done that, then you'll go to the file here, the icon, double click it. It'll open up. There it is. You'd enable the editing if it asks you that. And over here I might say, look, I'm going to take this. I'm going to go ahead and put a copy or a formula in there that adds those things up. I'll go in here and I'll type in, let's say, equal, and I'll go to here, and I'll say times 0.05, and I'll go ahead and copy that down. All right, so those are the changes I made to it. All right, I'll also go over here and change this person's name. Their name is really supposed to be Lurch Rose. All right, so there we go. All right, now, once you've done that, then you go ahead and you hit save. So you save it. All right, so there it is. When you hit save, and I'm going to close this up now, you actually saved it right back to this very spot here, okay, which is on the email message. So it has nothing, it's not anywhere on your computer system per se, it's right there in the email, all right? So then what you do is you go back up here, we type in student-k, there it is. So that you have to do. And then once you've done that, you might also put in here, you know, I made all the changes for you, da-da-da-da. If there's anything else you need, let me know. And then we go back and hit send, and that's it. And that takes care of it, just like that. And if you've got the system set up, you know, with the delivery, it'll eventually pop up here saying that it delivered the email to at least their server, so at least you know it got there. There it is. And that's it. So, pretty nice. So let me show this to you again. I had another one from one of my friend of mine here, and she had sent me an email. Got to find it here. She sent me an email with a problem that she had. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and I'll show it to you here. All right. She had trouble with the way a label was kind of laid out in her graph. Okay. So she asked me if I would tell her how to fix it, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit forward, right? Just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and now double click it, just like that. Now that'll open up in Microsoft Word. Let me just kind of move that over to here so you can see it. So that's it on that one, right? Now what I want to be able to do here now is, her problem is that the labels are laid on the right. They should be kind of laid on the left there. Didn't know how to do it. So what I told her was, what you do is you go in here and we just double click. Oh, actually enable the editing here first, right? Now what I'll do is I'll point to here, double click it, all right? And then I'm going to go back over to here, go to the text direction right there, and change it from being here to being there. See, that just flips it right around. That's it. And then I can go ahead and save this, just like that. There it goes. I'll go ahead and close this up. And now there it is. So the updated version is right there. So then I'll go back up here, and I'll just send it to somebody else here. But okay, but I would normally send it back to her like that. And then I would put a little message in there saying, hey, you know, here you go. And what I did were these, you know, 3 steps to make that happen. And that's it. And then now I'll send it off on its way. And that's it. Just like that. And we're set. So, not bad. Again, I didn't really need to have a copy of it stored on my system. I just needed to fix it for her and send it right back to her, right? So, really cool stuff there. Okay, so let me kind of turn the direction here just a little bit and talk about emails that you get where it kind of directs you to do something. So in other words, you get a message from somebody and it says, hey, I need you to do blah, blah, blah for me. And you're sitting there saying, yeah, okay, I'll take care of that. And of course, you know, if you're like most people, you probably forget half of those things that you say that you're going to do. All right. So what we can actually do is we can actually make a to-do out of your email message and have that constantly reminding you that you need to take care of it. So let me kind of go through the process here. So let's just say that I get an email, and let's say I'll just do it from Donna here. So let's say I get an email from Donna, and she wants me to do something, and I say, okay, fine. So what I'm going to do is I'll click onto her message here, and I can do, and if I got it open, I can do it as well from there as well. But I'll just do it from here, and I'll say, okay, I'll do a right click on it, all right. I'm going to go here to follow up, and I'm going to specify that I need to take care of that, let's say, tomorrow. Or actually, I'll just say today. So I'll click onto that, all right, and it puts a little flag marker over on the side there, okay? But what it also does, let me just show you what we're going to do here. We're going to go back into the View tab here, and I'm going to go to the To-Do bar, all right, and I'm going to choose the one here called Tasks. And what that does, it opens up the side here, and I'm going to get rid of these here. These are just old things that I don't really need here. All right, so there it is. All right, that's the email. Now, just by seeing that, it's kind of telling me what I need to do. All right, if later on I go back in there and I do a double click on that, it actually opens up the email and shows what's in there. All right, so that's pretty cool. Actually, I'm looking at that. I'm going, that doesn't look like the right one. I'm going to just go ahead and kill that off. Let me try this again. I'm going to go over to Donna here again. Try this again. Do a right click on it. Follow up for today. And there it is. See, that's how it should come up there. I don't know what happened with the last one. I guess you'll know because you could rewind the video and see what I did there, but that's what happened. Now I can go to other email messages. I can go maybe this one right here. I can do a right click on that, follow up, and I can say follow up next week, something like that. There it goes on that one. Happens to be Friday, so and we don't do anything on Saturday and Sunday, so I'm just kind of limited here what I would put in there. Then I can maybe do another one here. I'll do a right click on this one here, follow up, and I can say no date. All right, so that just tells me, you know, I can do that whenever. This one needs to be done today. That one needs to be done next week. And it all kind of changes as time progresses, okay? So eventually what says this week or next week will actually be either, you know, tomorrow, or it might be today or whatever happens to be, depending. So you do that. There's one more I'll show you here. And I'll do another right click on this one here. And you can also do a custom where you can actually specify the due date, okay, when you need to get it done. So I'm just going to say the 21st and just do that. And you can also put a reminder on there that'll ring, you know, whatever you specify here, and a little window will pop up reminding you that you need to take care of this. So the whole idea here is that you're putting together reminders on various emails that then will be displayed here, and they'll also be displayed on your calendar as well, which is pretty cool. And just to show you that, let me just get back in here. You can go down here to the calendar, all right? And then if you go into, let's say, the weekly view, all right? And we go to view and tell that we want to see the daily task list, and I'm just going to say normal, all right? Then it's going to show you that's for this week, the ones we just put in there, and then also for next week as well. See, so pretty neat stuff there. All right, but it's a nice little tool there because it kind of just it reminds you that, oh yeah, I need to take care of such and such. And like I said, if you're wondering what it was, you can just point to it, double click it, and it actually opens up that email message for you. All right, so pretty nice deal there. Now, what eventually happens is if you don't take care of the task, let's say this particular task here for today, let's say I blow it off and I come in here tomorrow or next week sometime, this will actually turn red, and so will the associated email that it came from. This whole thing will turn red. Very, very cool. Okay, so now you get to a situation where, okay, now you're starting to take care of some of these things, right? So what happens then is if you click on to, let's say, the flag of one that you have taken care of, you've finished it, you've completed it, you click onto it, and what it does, it puts a check mark, it removes it from here, but it puts a check mark over there, which is pretty neat. You go to another one here, you might click onto that, and that one then will get a check mark as well in there. All right, that's pretty nice. Now the other unique thing about this is if you go back to your calendar, let me just go back to the calendar here, and let me go to that following week there. All right, and there it is. Now, what I want to do on that is, even though it's for next Saturday, okay, I'm gonna say that I got done with it already. All right, so if I point to the flag there and click it, it disappears. Well, where does it go? Well, it's pretty neat, because if you go now to the previous week, it shows it there, and it shows a line going through it. So what happened was, even though it was a task for next week, I completed it today, so it actually copies it back over here and puts a line through it. That's pretty neat. So just a very unique little tool there. And I'll just go back in here and I'll get that one done as well. Okay, so now here's the other thing. I really like this tool. I really think it's a pretty neat thing. I will normally go through and put check marks on a lot of the emails that I find to be important, all right? And that lets me know that I took care of it, all right? So, and let's just say that I don't really need to create a task for it, but I still like the idea of that little check mark. So what I can do is, I can go over and I can just do a, when I'm hovering over the email, I can go over to here where the flag is at, all right? And I can click it. Now, the default is that it makes it a today task, right? But now when I click it again, then I've taken care of it, see? So that's how I take care of those. And I can go to this one here, I go click, and I've taken care of that one. So at least when I'm looking at some of these emails, I can say, oh yeah, okay, good. I did take care of that. Oh yeah, I did take care of that, and so forth. So it just really kind of keeps me on top of things. I'm sure a lot of you watching these videos, or this video, you've probably run into that before, where you say, oh yeah, I got an email from somebody, and I said to myself, okay, I'll take care of it, and you forgot all about it and got in trouble. Now, another situation you might have is, you might get an email from somebody wanting you to do something, and you say to yourself, that's going to take a little time to do. I need to reserve some time on my calendar to take care of that, and to make sure that if somebody were to try to bring me into a meeting on that same time, they'll know at least I'm busy. So what you're doing is, you're trying to set aside some time that you don't want people to be booking you for meetings in, but that you want to kind of take care of a particular task, right? So let's just say, for instance, we'll go back to the Donna one here, okay? So this one here, she sent me an email with the attachment, and it's something that I need to spend a few hours doing, and so I want to kind of reserve a time to do that, and then and take care of it, right? And not be bothered with people trying to schedule me in a meeting during that time. So here's what we do. This is pretty cool. You point to the actual email. You hold down your mouse button and you drag it over to your calendar icon down here. See where I'm at there? You let go, and what it does, it actually creates an email, or I'm sorry, a calendar event here. And we're going to be talking about these things later on in some videos, but at this point, there it is. So this is it. And what you can do then is go in there and kind of make a note to yourself as to what you need to do, all right? And you can also then figure out when you want to do it. So I can click on to the start time here and say, okay, I need to do this, let's say next, maybe the 21st, all right? And I need to go from 8:30, let's see, maybe I'll change this to, let's say, from 10 to noon here, okay? Oh, not 10 p.m. Bring that back here a little bit here. So from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., all right, till noon, right? And that's it. But, make a note to yourself and all that. And then once you've done that, you go ahead and you click on the Save and Close, all right? Now, this does not appear in your to-do list, but what happens is you go over to your calendar, All right. And if I'm on the weekly calendar here, I can scroll over, and I'll see the item right there. All right. And I can also double click it, and I can actually see what it's about and remind myself of what I need to do. But what a perfect thing. Now this way, again, because it's in your calendar, if somebody tries to schedule a meeting for you to be invited to, during that same time, they're going to see that you're busy from 10 till 12 and not schedule you for that time. And just to make sure that you don't forget about this, what you can actually do is while you're on that particular meeting, up here in the appointment tab here, you'll see where it says reminder. And you can actually click onto this and maybe put in there, let's say 1 day, all right? So what's going to end up happening is that particular meeting, all right, will remind you on Wednesday. A little pop-up window will pop up on your screen reminding you that you've got that at, the next day, from 10 to 12. And you could have also put that reminder in as you put the meeting together. If I double click and open this up, you can see up here that we've got the reminder, 1 day right there. So pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to go back to my email here. Now, another thing that is kind of reminiscent of what we're doing here is setting up a out-of-office response. And I'm sure probably a lot of you have already done this, you know how to do it and so forth, but I'm sure there's a lot of you that don't know how to do this. So here's what I want to show you. We want to have a message that is sent out to people that send us emails, letting them know that we're out of the office until a certain date and time, whatever, or whatever the need for it is. So it's usually something when you go on vacation or you're going out of town for a meeting or whatever, and you just want people to know that you might not be able to immediately reply back to them. Even though most of us have our smartphones and all that where we can take care of emails, but just something that kind of keeps the pressure off of you while you're out of town and not working. All right. So to set this up, what we do is we go over into the File tab, all right? And over here we've got our automatic replies. So we click onto that. There it is. All right, so right now we have nothing. So at this point then you might say, okay, I'm gonna put the automatic replies on. And what's kind of interesting here is if you just do that and you put your message in here, okay? And it's kind of interesting because we could have two different kinds of messages. We can have the messages for the people within your organization. So all the people that are on your global address book list, they'll get this message. And all the ones that are outside of your company or your organization will get this message here. And you can do whatever you need to do to make that happen. So just the way we've got it set up right now, I mean, I'm not going to type anything here, but you get the idea. Either one of those, I put that in there because I don't have any kind of a date range. It will do this from now on forever. All right. On the other hand, if you want this to happen during a certain time, certain date range, then you click onto here and you specify your start and your end dates and times. And that way, what's really neat about that is that you don't forget. It makes it so where if you forget that you had this set when you come back, you don't have to worry about it because it's only going to be doing this during that range. So even if you forget to come back in and turn it off, which you don't have to, but if you had to, you wouldn't have to worry about it now because it's set up like that. So it'll automatically just turn off like that when this expiration time, date and time hit. So it's pretty straightforward thing. So basically you just come in here, put a message for this one and a message for the outside people. You've got a lot of different formatting that you can do on it. And then once you've got that all set up, then you just go ahead and hit OK. And now you've got that in there and that's it. Then you can just go back and now you're ready to go. Now it'll have a reminder up there saying that you've got the automatic replies turned on, and it's, you know, and if you at some point maybe you come back early and you're going, hey, you know, I don't need to worry about this, then you can actually just hit the turn off, and now it turns off. So now if I go back in there again, go back to my automatic replies, now you can see it's off. So pretty cool stuff. Pretty easy to do. All right, so thank you for watching this video. Hopefully that some of this stuff you can start using. I think it's a great you know, set of tools that you have there. All right, so take care. Appreciate you watching.